Here we are back in my Keto Naturopath kitchen, or Judy's Keto kitchen, and this morning we are making egg yolk waffles 4 different ways. 4 of my favorite ways to make egg yolk waffles. My absolute favorite, and what we do most of the time, is just my plain waffles, and I do have a video on that, on me making the waffles. So I start off with that basic recipe and add some flavors to it. So the basic recipe is 6 egg yolks, and I've cut the fat way down. I used to use 30 grams of fat. Now I use about 15 grams of bacon grease, beef grease, whatever you have left over. You could use coconut oil if you wanted to, probably even butter, but we are dairy free, so I use bacon grease. And then 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. So in here I have my 6 egg yolks. And what I usually do is the day before I know I'm going to make either the egg white protein cinnamon bread or focaccia, I will do all of my eggs and I'll put the egg yolks. If I know I'm going to make ice cream and I need 6, I'll do 6. If I'm going to do egg yolk waffles, 6. So I put them in containers for when I need them. And then I clean off all the eggshells, and what I do is I rinse off the eggshells, bake them for 20 minutes in 200-degree oven, and then you have eggshells that you can grind up to put in your garden or even put in your food. It's a good source of calcium. So I do it all at once, because if you do 6 at a time, you don't want to turn the oven on for 6 egg shells. So I like to do them all at once. So I have my Dash Mini waffle maker heating up. So, and adding 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Mix that up some to make sure the baking powder gets mixed up. And I'm using my little mini whisk, which I love. And then my 15 grams of bacon grease, which is, I put it in the microwave. And since I'm using maple flavored better stevia, which we get on Wellevate, or you could use 1/2 teaspoon of maple extract and either liquid stevia or sweetener of your choice. Right now I'm just using the maple flavored stevia instead of, and you don't need a lot. This isn't, and I'll taste it to make sure it's sweet enough. That tastes like toffee. All right, so I always have a towel ready with my waffle maker, because it steams up and it gets hot. And I have this little, this is about 1/4 cup. So I put about 1/4 cup in the waffle maker. And what I now do that I didn't do when I had my original video was I make sure all of the holes are covered. I used to get egg yolk waffles and had holes in them. And you put mayonnaise on them, and the mayonnaise would fall through. So you just wait for this to cook. It doesn't take long. How long? I don't know. Just until it's done. So normally when it starts steaming, it's pretty much done. So we'll wait for this to finish. Again, use a towel or something when you lift it up, because look at the steam and you're going to burn yourself if you don't. So then you just, what I do is I have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper that I put the waffles on, because I like to freeze them. And so I layer them between parchment paper, put them in the freezer, and then you can put them in a Ziploc bag and they won't stick together. And when you need one, it's easy to take one out. So I usually freeze my egg yolk waffles unless I know we're going to be eating them up within a couple of days. Now, it doesn't take long to make these waffles. They cook up very quickly. And especially if you're only doing 6 egg yolks. Sometimes I do like 24, 30 egg yolks at a time, and I start off and I go, oh my gosh, that's gonna take forever. And it doesn't. It's very quick. So I think I'm only gonna be getting 3 out of this. I'm getting set up for my next batch of waffles. Next, I'm gonna be making chocolate chip. So again, I have my 6 egg yolks, my baking powder, my baking grease. Oh, that solidified a little. So I'll just nuke it for a few seconds. And you don't want this real hot when you add it because you don't want it to cook the egg yolks. And I'm adding French vanilla, better stevia. You could put like a half a teaspoon of vanilla and sweetener of your choice. I'm using vanilla stevia that we get on Wellevate. Whoops, that might be too much. I'm adding 1/4 cup or 38 grams of Pasha chocolate chips. These are 100% chocolate, no sweetener added. I got this off of Amazon, and I will add the link to these. It's very hard to find chocolate chips that have absolutely no sweetener at all. Add the chocolate chips. Yeah, we'll add it. See, I'm thinking it might be a little too much chocolate chips, but we'll see. Try to get the chocolate chips. I don't know, it seems like the chocolate chips are sinking to the bottom, and I don't want to have one with all chocolate chips and nothing else. So what you could do also is, I've done this when I've made blueberry, is you just mix up the egg yolk mixture. You put that in there, and then you add a few chocolate chips on top so that you know, it's not all chocolate chips, or one has them all, one only has a few, and you can put them on separately. It's bubbling. You can hear it's probably the chocolate chips melting. So how I like to eat the maple flavored ones, they're also great with the chicken or turkey sausage patties. And on the rare occasion that I eat peanut butter, they're really good with peanut butter. It's like having a pancake, but you don't have to put the maple syrup on it. So next, we are making chocolate. So again, stirring up my egg yolks, baking powder, melted fat. And for this, I'm using dark chocolate flavored better stevia. You could use a half a teaspoon of chocolate extract and sweetener, but there's nothing better than better stevia flavored sweeteners. It's extract and sweetener all in one. And to this, we're adding 8 grams of cocoa powder. I love Valrhona cocoa. It's so dark and rich. I get that on Amazon, and I will also put a link below. This is a much thicker batter because we have the cocoa powder. Whoa, that looks good. It's very thick. So you really have to spread this around. Again, all of these very low carb, since there are no nut flours, coconut flour, any flour, just egg yolks, whatever carbs are in egg yolks. My last one, lemon blueberry. Now I've made these as muffins, so any of these you can also do as muffins. I do have the lemon blueberry muffin recipe, which will have how long to cook them I'll post the link to that. But so any of these, you could do muffins. They're gonna be not gonna be really thick muffins. I like all these better as waffles. So again, you've got your egg yolks, your baking powder, your melted fat, now the way I've made them in the past is with a tablespoon of lemon juice. You could do like a half a teaspoon of lemon extract. I am using lemon twist better stevia. Oh, surprise. They have so many flavors of better stevia. And so this is lemon twist, and we're using that for today's. About a quarter of a teaspoon. A quarter of a cup of blueberries. And I use frozen blueberries. I prefer the wild blueberries, which are very small. They did not have the wild blueberries. So these are larger. Well, hopefully that'll work. But the small wild blueberries, they're a little sweeter. They work really well. But this is what I have. Again, what you could do is put the blueberries on top. Well, let's try it that way since I did the chocolate chips the other way. Lemon blueberry. Again, this is how I freeze it. You have a layer, one layer, put parchment paper, another layer. Just put this in the freezer for a couple of hours, come back, take them out individually, put them in a plastic Ziploc bag, and they won't stick together and they're perfect. So I'm gonna come back and we're gonna try all of these. So now it's time to taste them. However, I made a mistake. When I made the blueberry, I did not add any sweetener. So you could add like a half a teaspoon of vanilla and sweetener, or vanilla, better stevia. What I was going to try was this pomegranate blueberry better stevia. I really wanted to put this in there, but I forgot. So the blueberry does not have any sweetener in it. Sometimes I don't even need sweetener. The blueberries might be sweet enough. So let me see. I put lemon stevia in it. Never mind. I did want lemon stevia in the lemon blueberry. Duh. But you could do the pomegranate blueberry if you added the tablespoon of lemon juice. All right. Chocolate chip. That is really chocolatey. You can taste those chips. Those are great chips. Now, the regular chocolate. It's the right amount of chocolate flavor, not too chocolatey, just right. And the maple, after the plain, the maple is my favorite. They're so good. Make these for your kids, your grandkids. No preservatives, no processed foods, egg yolks, which we all should have. These are great.